United about 10 million euros. So Man United is going to be paying that. I don't think they are going to be trusting Van Nistelrooy, or probably going to see what they are going decision they are going to be making. If he's going to come in probably in January or immediately or in the summer. But they have agreed to bring Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon. He is the coach of Sporting Lisbon, and he has been doing fantastic this season. He had this striker upset of the name of Sesco. So he's been scoring for him.
Victor.
Victor Gyökeres.
Gyökeres in his side. So probably he might be bringing him to Manchester United. Let's see what how that deal is going to be panning out. Man United have decided to bring in another coach. Probably they are not trusting Van Nistelrooy. So good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and I am here with the guys in the studio to talk about. We talk football, talk about Ruben a little bit, and there is Carabao Cup happening. There is a game happening today. Games happened yesterday too. Man United is playing today, so we're going to be seeing what Van Nistelrooy is going to do when he takes over Manchester United and coach them against Leicester City in that cup. So we'll be looking forward to that game to see what Van Nistelrooy will be doing. Good morning, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the show. Manchester United fans can finally breathe easy and smile.
Good morning, also.
It's the same thing with Manchester United fans. They can finally, according to John, finally breathe easy and smile.
Yes.
After 3 years, the problem continues. Welcome to the show, guys.
Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments. I'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. There are games that happened yesterday again in the Serie A. Games happen in Serie A, and Napoli is flying in the Serie A. Hope Conte is actually doing great. They won that game away from home against Milan. It was a good result for them. But before we go into this year, let's stay with the Manchester United coach. What do you make of this deal? This Amorim guy, he's a young guy. He's been coaching Sporting Lisbon for a while, but Man, want stories. They want to bring him because if you look at, there are no top in quotes, there are no top world class coaches are available in the market again. So they have to make sure that they're getting a coach immediately. What do you make of that?
You know, when Ruben Amorim left SC Braga to go to Sporting Lisbon, there was ruckus in the Portuguese Primera Division because Sporting Lisbon paid a then hilarious, outrageous, 8.25 million to sign him from Braga after just one season at Braga. And, in 2 years, he has shown them that that deal was wise, and is also showing Manchester United in this deal that the 10 point something million they are going to be paying to get him is going to be chicken change based on the result he was able to deliver at Braga, based also on the result he delivered at Sporting. He won the Portuguese Primera Division title twice. He won the cup twice, and then he won the Super Cup once. That's 5 trophies in 2 years. So far, if you go back and look at his points per game, high points per game, go back, look at his win rates, high win rates, go back, look at the goals scored this season and the record this season, flawless record this season. So I think Manchester United have poached a potential top manager as it is, could be world class at Manchester United. The question will now be, can Manchester United now adapt their side, adapt their system to bring in a reformative leader, a transformational leader in Ruben Amorim? Because at the end of the day, if it's going to be business as usual for Manchester United, and you are going all through all this process to get him in, and at the end of the day he's not going to be able to effect change, then you are just putting the fans through another hair dryer of emotional backlash,
emotional damage.
Yes, turmoil and damage. And then we're also getting words now through the Vine that Manchester United are going to have a limited budget to strengthen the side for Victor Gyökeres, for Ruben Amorim when he comes in, and that Ruud van Nistelrooy will be giving his final notice to the club once the appointment is sealed. So he will be leaving the club once the appointment is sealed. And we're also hearing that Ruben Amorim is looking to take with him Ignacio the centre back Manchester United have been chasing all this while, Ignacio, and then they are also looking to get in Victor Gyökeres with him as well. Thank you.
Okay. You say thank you. Like a politician. Like a politician that finished.
No,
You know that's how star do. That's how star do.
when you go for what's it called, report outside, and you're giving a report, reporting from Abuja. This is
All the way. See,
John.
don't drop my steez
this
this
is
morning.
John.
Don't-
This is John
don't just
reporting
tamper
all
with
the
my
way, all the
steez
way
this
from
morning.
Manchester, and
No, I'm
all
not
the way
reporting
from Manchester in Portugal.
I'm reporting
Reporting
all
from
the way
Manchester
from
Street.
Lisbon, direct.
All the way from Manchester
Lisbon,
Street in Lisbon. Manchester
No,
Street
no,
in Lisbon.
no.
After the game yesterday, he coached the game yesterday that they asked him about the Manchester United. He said that nothing yet to announce, but it's obvious that he's going to be going.
You know what I like about this man move now? Man United came for him. They were talking to his camp. Baba held a press conference ahead of his game last night. They asked him the same question. What are your thoughts about your move to Man United? He said, my focus is the keyword is my focus is on the game at hand.
Sure,
which means
as
the
it should
game
be.
when you get for hand. He's not talking about other clubs, he's not talking about everything. He didn't allow the media overwhelm him. He didn't allow the pressure of everything overwhelm him. He said my game this, and after that game last night, they asked him again. He said there's nothing to announce. Which means I have a game on Saturday at Lisbon and I'll continue to play until the club tells me, bros, can they go?
But we are hearing that he's going to be in charge of the final match on Friday, and then he should be jetting into Manchester before the Sunday game. So
see, I am certain he's not going to be coaching Man United on Sunday.
Let's just say
he can't be coaching United.
But look at it. John has said everything he wants to say about Amorim and the possible players he could bring in. The players of Goncalo Inacio and maybe Victor Gyökeres. These are good players. These are fantastic players. But he would come in and settle with the ones he had first, because transfer window is still far. January is still a long shot from now.
It's not a long shot.
January is still a long shot from now. It's maybe 2 months. Because we are looking at January as it's just next week. January is still be like 4 months from now. It's still like 10
It's
games.
not for how many? Why are you like this?
This
It's just November, December, and for me, I think those conversations should start post-haste so that before that, say, okay, let's not go there, but under Manchester United of old, they finalize January deals in November, December, and then in the first day, you just hear big news. Van Persie or whoever has gone to wherever, So I think they should have those deals sorted out. And if it's truly going to have a limited budget, then they need to be wise about who they are bringing in to help it.
Like I said, this what's it called, Man United side would have to he will come into the Man United side and work with the players he has. He will come into the Man United fans and see if he can straighten the youth setup, because I was reading at something of his profile, which was the same thing we saw. In his profile, we saw him with this season so far. He has an average win of 2.6 in 14 games, plus the Europa League, the Champions League and the Europa League and the cup competitions. He has an average of 2.64 points per game. And in the league alone, he has 3.3, which means he has won all the games he's played in the leagues. And I said this yesterday, with just 9 games, he has scored 30 goals. 30 goals and conceded just 2 goals in 9 games. Now, this was the same thing we said about the last person. So I'm not going to sit here and say Amorim is the best manager to come into Man United. We've seen the best managers come into Man United. I'm going to continue hitting on this point until people let it sink in. That Man United, until they learn to be patient. Because I believe at some point, Man United, when they were trying to groom the youth setup, they were patient. Now they've tested trophies, and most of those players that got those trophies have left. Now it's a rebuild. Once they learn it's a rebuild season, and they'll be patient with the manager for 5 years, 6 years. They would not get anything out of any manager that comes.
You can only be patient with a manager. For example, now if all the players at Manchester United were giving contract termination, like I was suggesting at the end of last season.
You can't terminate contract.
I'm just saying.
You can't terminate contract.
You can. The club can. The club can. Go and look across Europe. Contracts were terminated, and it's doable.
Neves, I want to ask you one question. If they can, your boy, she been dey loan now for Ipswich. Your boy.
My boy.
He come loan for West Ham. Your boy. I don't want to call his name. Your boy. You know, if I call his name, I go the vest.
No,
your boy.
Call his name.
He ain't go loan. He ain't go loan for West Ham last season. He make West Ham almost relegate under Moyes. In the loan for Ipswich. Now, Ipswich, they plan to send them back in January. Instead of 1 year loan, they want cut them down to 6 months. Your boy. Ipswich Town Why is your team not terminating his contract?
It's a different scenario.
It's not now the same thing.
When
You cannot just give a player a bumper talent.
terminated Aubameyang's contract, he was on a longer deal. His deal was terminated. Paul Pogba is on a longer deal with Juventus. That deal is being terminated. If
the player wants to leave, you can
terminate. It's not about
the
if
player
the player wants to leave. Aubameyang did not want to leave Arsenal. Arsenal terminated. He did not want to leave.
He didn't want to play.
He didn't want to leave. Arsenal terminated that contract based on his performance, based on him breaking the rules set by Mikel Arteta. And I'm telling you that for me, last season, I would have terminated all the contracts of Manchester United players except Bruno Fernandes. I'm just telling you now. Except Bruno Fernandes.
That is why you cannot own a club, because you will go broke overnight.
First players in and give the manager 4 years.
You will go broke overnight.
But you can't continue with liabilities.
You're looking at Arteta and you're saying Arteta does not want to play for the manager.
And you are telling me give him time when you are going down, when you are going to relegation, when you are dying silently.
Aubameyang does not want to play for Arteta, and they ended up looking at a way to resolve the whole issue, and he decided to leave the club. Now, Amorim will come in and meet these players. Till January, it's a gradual process. Sell them off. We saw the likes of people run down their contract at Man United. You get the Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba, and the rest of them. They ran down their contracts. They ran down their contracts.
Responsible for allowing those guys run down those contracts.
It's not that.
It's poor management on their part.
When players are sorted for, when clubs want to buy a player, you sell them.
If you are going to cancel a person's contract, you have two options. Either you agree with the player,
mutual agreement,
for them to leave. If not, you see that length of that money you are going to pay them for 3 years. You pay them complete. That's the problem with sacking the coach. Like Ten Hag, you have to pay him for that 2 years he signed extra. That's the problem. So clubs cannot afford to be paying that. Do you know how many? If you cancel 10 players,
Arsenal did it with Aubameyang.
There was no
mutual.
Who says there was no mutual consent? He said he left on mutual consent.
It wasn't on mutual
Look at the headlines.
It's not, forget about it. Headline can come and write what they can pontificate whatever they want to pontificate.
It's on mutual consent.
But
and
at
there was
the
no
end of the day, there was no.
And he left for where did he go to after Arsenal?
Okay, forget about where he went. He was terminated. Simple and short.
Do you think that he can do well? Amorim can do well? Yes or no?
First year.
Yes.
First
1,000 times yes.
Okay, let's move on.
1,000 times yes.
Until waiting they do Man United do.
Go and look at Enzo Maresca's playbook. Freeze out all those dead weights. Let them not play for the club.
Let's
Bring
move on
in
to
young players.
Okay, let's move on to the Serie A. The Serie A happened yesterday, and the big game happened yesterday. Conte is cooking. But before I talk about Conte, let me leave one or two comments about this Amorim deal. Bowie is saying United are willing to pay 8.5 million release clause. Shows how desperate they are to getting him. Okay, that's true. They are trying to bring him immediately. So let's move on to the Serie A. Serie A happened yesterday, and yesterday I'll give you the results first. Then we'll talk about the big game, because one of the biggest games that happened yesterday is Milan and Napoli. That game ended 2-0 in favor of Napoli. So that Lecce 1, Verona 0, and Cagliari 0, Bologna 2. Okay, let's stay with the Milan game. That game happened yesterday, and Conte is cooking in this Serie A. Lukaku scored in the first 5 minutes. The way he bullied that defender and scored that first goal, he can justify him letting Osimhen go and bringing his own Lukaku. What do you think?
Definitely justified. What's it called now? Antonio Conte for letting Osimhen go. He knows the player. Like I said, you know the player you want to work with. You know the kind of team you want to play like. You know what you want to play like. You want a player that will bully your defenders. But what if those numbers don't start coming? What if those numbers? But now the numbers are coming and we are singing him all praises. Good job for him. Good instinct from the coach.
Until Lukaku picks up enough.
Until then, let me finish my sentence. John, don't be stealing my steals. Until one thing now happen. You now need somebody to come in and take that position. You now need somebody to come in and hold that mantle. And you look at your bench, there's nobody there to do the job. Then you start asking yourself, why did you let this player go at the first place? You get. There's no harm in having a player fight for his position in the club. There's no harm in having a player fight for the starting share. There's no harm in having 3 players fight for one position in the club. As long as there's a fighting spirit, once there's a will, you as a coach, you have a team that if you don't have headache while selecting your team, then you have a problem as a coach. You get. So for Lukaku scoring the goal yesterday was a good one. You saw the combination between him, Visha, and the rest of the forward line, and Scott McTominay. It was just a sight to see when you see players who's played in the Premier League giving in their energy fighting spirits, fighting for this manager. He knows how to inspire these players. I believe he just knows how to, because I feel like there were some chances Scotty has missed. There were some chances even Bill Gilmore. There were some passes as a defensive midfielder. There were some passes he made forward. I feel like this guy's supposed to play attacking midfield.
Scott is his main guy now. He doesn't play with Scott in that team.
Bill Gilmore and Scotty, those Scottish giants just know how to make the midfield tick for them.
John, the funniest thing about Conte, he started with a 3-man defense. Suddenly he switched to a 4-man defense. He has been playing for the past 5 games now. He has been playing a 4-man defense and he has been winning games.
You know, when you say John Gumacho, you go change down step, and that's what Conte is seeing at Napoli right now. The 3-man defense may have worked at, what's it called now, Juventus. It could have worked at other places because of the quality of players you have there. But surely it's not going to work here at Napoli because the system and the setup is built around that 4-man backline, and he's adapting. But you can't talk about that game yesterday without talking about the main man. I've forgotten his first name. I'll just like to talk about his second other name, Zambo Anguissa, with the assist.
The Cameroonian.
Yes. On the assist for Lukaku, and then a certain man whose name is like a sentence, Kvaratskhelia, who got on the score sheet as well. Kudos to them winning without Osimhen, but this food go born when John go mature.
but let's talk about this Milan side now. We saw this guy make successful dribbles. We saw him take on defenders, create enough chances. But our Oga up front, our market, the man that has gone to all the big clubs in the world. How market?
Who is also your fave?
He scored a goal, but he was ruled out of
in their position. They always there in position. You see him coming to, like, there were some games you see him. Like we talked about, what's it called, Kylian in the weekend. This man has, I think, against the Napoli side, he has what they call, he was unaware of the surroundings he was in. He drops too deep, and whenever he comes in forward, you're making a run. I think this was a clear-cut beating of 2 defenders just to get you the pass, and yet you're nowhere to be found.
It was a lovely cross from Chukwueze. But if you look at that, this Conte thing, do you think that Conte coming back to the Serie A and he is pulling this weight? Now, nobody expected, even though everybody expected him to do well with Napoli, because if you look at where Napoli finished last season, it was far. There wasn't in top seed. They are not even playing any continental game, but he has come now and took this Napoli side, gave them that mentality. He has this ginger. He has this. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes,
he always has this force. He has
this
force that is to pull this team. But what do you make of him coming back to in Serie A and pulling this kind of weight?
You see, this is where they say that there are men and there are giants in football. That's just the way it is. You look at the record of the previous manager who was in that position, and then you look at the record and the pedigree of Antonio Conte. You can see this is a player that any player who is in his right senses should be looking up to, should respect, and should be eager to work with him to drive. And because see, when you have a manager that is a seasoned winner, you know that the journey to the trophy is shorter because he knows all the potholes. He's been there, done that in the Scudetto. He's won the Scudetto severally. And then another part is that's just talking about him as a person now and his coaching pedigree. You also look at the Napoli setup. You see that the fundamentals are in place, unlike some other club in north of England. The fundamentals at Napoli are in place. It's just maybe the previous manager maybe lost the buy-in of his players, or there were some tactics that they were trying to use that wasn't working out for them. But look at that now. Look at the added advantage of not being in Europe right now, having those extra midweek period to maybe train and get players fit and continue firing alongside this tactical genius and all of that.
The funniest part about this thing you just said? When he won that league for Chelsea wasn't playing anything in Europe.
Yes.
He was just focused on that league, and they smashed that league.
Yes.
Probably he's going to be doing the same for Napoli. Okay,
you're forgetting one thing, that the person that left the job won the Scudetto.
No, he has left.
No, wait,
he has
understand.
He has left
Prem
2 years ago.
He won the Scudetto.
Left.
Somebody else came in
and he didn't do well.
But you're forgetting the fact that there was a build before the Scudetto came into Napoli. And I always said this: when you don't touch trophy, you go back there.
Why they not go back there under the last manager?
The last manager not sabi wetin they do. So no compare them with the other one for where you call the name now, where they for up north or the other side of town. Next manager will take over the guy. No know what they do. Didn't know how to rally the players around. Didn't know what the style of play was. It was coming, like I said, I always say this. When you have a style of play, you have a philosophy, you have this style of play that you've worked on for years to get there. When you get a manager that would improve on it. You get Napoli when they won the Scudetto, were playing game pressing, Serie A, what's it called, physical football. It was more physical and everybody was on their toes. Everybody was running helter-skelter for the team. Everybody was on their toes. Everybody was physical as well. You get it was physicality, technicality, and speed. So everything combined. And the next manager that came in took out physicality, left the technicality, and took out the speed. You could see that they were not playing with so much pace. They were not playing with so much strength after the what's it called left. Now this man is back there. He saw that when they won the Scudetto, they were playing with physicality, technicality, and speed. He brought the three of them back to the fold. This is what we want to play like, and he brought midfielders that could play like that, physical in nature, fast in nature, and also technical. Though the midfielders, I won't say they are as smart as it is, the likes of Scotty and Billy Gilmore, but you could see that they were physical and they have pace to burn. So with Anguissa being there and in that midfield, having the technicality to gel the three of them together, it makes more sense.
Okay, for if you look at that game, it ended 2-0 for Napoli. Napoli is cooking. Conte is cooking in the Serie A. If he's continuing this way, probably he's going to be winning this Serie A because he is a good coach. Okay, there are fixtures in today's Serie A. I'll give you the fixtures and I'll probably talk about the predictions. Venezia versus Udinese. That game happening like 6:30. Empoli versus Inter Milan. Atlanta, our own Lookman, is playing today versus Monza. Juventus versus Parma, Genoa versus Fiorentina, Roma versus Torino, and Como versus Lazio. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about Empoli versus Inter because they are the defending champions. They are trying to retain their title, but unfortunately for them, they have Conte that came there and want to win it in his first try back in Serie A.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to say this now. These two matches, Inter Milan has played 9 games so far. They've won 5. While their neighbors up front have played 10 games and won 8. So with that 9 what's called now 9 point difference, because until they have this this their match, and
7 points
so
difference.
with that 7 points difference, you know that Inter Milan are a side that would go on to win matches. They always score goals. They always put themselves in that conversation. And this season is not going to be another one. We have an Inzaghi who's worked hard to get this team to where they are. He's still going to work hard to get this team to where they would finish and where they want to finish. It's not a one-man's league. It's everybody's league in Serie A. So everybody can come in and compete. And I think Napoli is doing a good job so far. And Inter Milan are fighting to retain their title.
Okay, Lukman is playing today, John. He's going to start. He is favourite to be winning the CAF award. But what do you make of Atlanta this season? Do you think they are doing well in the Serie A? Because if you look at the table, they are 5th. They are 5th on the table. They have 16 points. They are 5th, which is not bad. Juve has 17 and have 16, so they are just behind the top 4.
Yeah, a couple of clubs in the Serie A are still on 9 games, which means they have them. Napoli has a 1 game advantage
ahead,
on them. So I wouldn't give too much credence to the point difference until the 10th game is played across board, and then we can now look at where everybody starts up. So for me, Atlanta have had a fantastic season last year. I think if you shake any Atlanta fan and ask them which one they would rather have, Europe trophy again or the Scudetto, they will tell you that they are dreaming for the Scudetto, and the man in charge, Gasperini, has what it takes to deliver the Scudetto. It's just now, balancing it with other fixtures and other competitions. And then looking at the side now, they have more than what it takes to sideline Monza. It's just, you don't really know the team that has been, training for you, planning for you, preparing for you in the Serie A, because some of these small teams, their trophy is winning a big side, winning a champion, defeating somebody that's going on to win the Europa League or Champions League or stuff like that. And these guys are actually working in the shadows, preparing for them. And if you look at the table, Monza is sitting at 16th, only on 8 points. So they are hungry for more points on the board. They are sure fighting against, dropping down into the Serie B. So it's going to be a tough match.
Okay, let's talk about Juventus versus Parma. Juventus are the only team in the Serie A that have not lost a game. But the issue about they have 4 wins and 5 draws. So they have been drawing a whole lot of games. So
Draw just two.
yeah, so they are unbeaten, but they are, even if they win today's game, they will still be 5 points behind Napoli. So that means them being unbeaten is not really a big thing like that.
Yeah.
But if you look at what are your expectations, because their coach came there and everybody is expecting him to do well. He is doing well. He have not lost a game in this year, but they are not actually doing well. They have a whole lot of draws in that league.
The draws, I would say, was well deserved, because one of those draws was against Inter Milan. One of those
Yes,
draws was
4-4
against
draw.
one of those draws was against AC Milan. They were in a losing position when they placed those draws. So I think it was a good game for him to come into those games and not lose it. Playing two teams that have been there. As a new manager, you're coming into a side that the pressure should overwhelm you. The pressure from the fans, the pressure from the media, the pressure from the club itself should overwhelm you. But you're settling in well, getting a draw against teams that have won the trophy before you, getting a win against other teams, making sure you don't lose your head in the side. And I think it's a good one for Thiago Motta so far, bringing the team together to work as a unit, because this is what happens when you come into a new job as a young man. You want to prove your dominance, and at the end of the day, you lose your dressing room. You want to prove your pedigree. At the end of the day, you lose the dressing room. I think he's done well so far, curtailing the likes of the Vlahovic and all of the players in front of those midfield to make sure that they work for the club, and let's get the club to winning again. And I think this game today is just going to be one of those games that they would blow out.
Okay, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. And have some comments here. Bowe is saying Napoli is on fire and Conte will justify why he let Osimhen go. Yes, we think so too. That's why Conte is. And Josh Rush is saying, let's wait and see if Conte will be on fire till the end of the season. Okay, let's wait.
Well said.
Yes, let's wait and see if he's going to be on fire to the end of the season. But if we know Conte is always consistent. So let's see what happened in the Serie A. After today's game, we'll look at the table and see who is chasing them or not. Okay, let's move over to England and talk about the Carabao Cup, because the Carabao Cup is what we are playing in England this week. Yesterday's game, it was Southampton 3, Stoke 2, and Brentford played at a 1-1 draw and against Sheffield Wednesday, and that game ended in a penalty, which Brentford won that game. But let's talk about today's game. I'll give you the fixtures for today's game in the Carabao Cup, and we'll talk about most of them. Today is Brighton versus Liverpool, Manchester United versus Leicester City, Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, Newcastle versus Chelsea, Preston versus Arsenal, and the big one, Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City. Okay, let's start with the Liverpool game. Liverpool are playing Brighton, but Brighton is at home. Slot is looking to win a trophy, and everybody is trying to get every trophy is important now. It's not like those days that it was called the Carling Cup. Those days people don't really bother about it. They play their second team. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. Like giving. But now everybody.
Jose Mourinho came and played first starting 11.
Jose Mourinho came and started playing drama in a Carling Cup game. Everybody. But that game against Brighton, Liverpool, Slot is actually been doing well this season. What do you make of that game now?
It's a good one. It's a good trophy, but Liverpool, Brighton are no pushovers.
Liverpool are defending champions.
They are defending champions in their own right, but Brighton are no pushovers, and they are going to want to match Liverpool blow for blow, pound for pound, player for player, and you can't disparage them. You can't disparage that side because they are a good side, and Liverpool may just use the magic trick of Mo Salah and Luis Diaz to win this one.
The Luis Diaz will not turn up against Arsenal.
He might turn up against.
Give me slow motion Gakpo. Let's know how it is. Then look at people talk about the Brighton side. I'll always sing praises of the Brighton side. Fabian has done a good job. He's taking them from one step to the other. He's taking them from point A under De Zerbi to point B now. And Fabian is doing a good job making sure they win games. You getting the result that they deserve to get. And I think it's a good one for him so far. But this one is going to overwhelm him because he's playing against the Liverpool side. Both managers are new in the Premier League. It's their first season. So it's going to be all about experience. Like I said before, it's going to be experience of how long you've been in the coaching job and the quality of the side you have in this game.
Okay, what are your predictions for that game, Liverpool and Brighton?
For me, I'll stick with Liverpool on this one.
Liverpool to win. John?
Tough match. I think Brighton will fight to the end, but Liverpool rescue win.
Ruud van Nistelrooy will be taking over his first game as a Manchester United interim coach. He's going to be taking on Leicester City. Remember, we told you in the beginning of the show, that they have agreed, Manchester United have agreed to bring in another coach from Sporting Lisbon, Amorim. But for now, Van Nistelrooy is their coach and he's going to be taking over today's game. If you look at that game against Leicester, everybody is expecting Manchester United to win. They are playing at Old Trafford. When they sack a coach, and a new coach enters, there is this different kind of the players want to impress.
A different type of atmosphere.
Yes, atmosphere. So in this game against Leicester City, do you think that Ruud van Nistelrooy will get his first win as a United coach?
Definitely, he would get his win as a United coach. But we are seeing a Steve Cooper doing a team talk that would want to hurt him in the side. But we're saying that Ruud van Nistelrooy is one of these managers who came in, and we are seeing his tactics. And when he came into Ten Hag, we are seeing his tactics play out with the Ten Hag style of play, where it's a forward press until you create more chances. But the strikers are not scoring those chances. So he's playing the high press. He's getting the players to play high. But the players he has right now, I'm not sure they are the players that have that energy to play the high press. Though they don't lose the balls in critical areas, but they'll get the result in midfield in this one and get the win, perhaps.
John, Ruud van Nistelrooy taking off his first game as a United coach.
What a beautiful sight to see. I'm looking forward to that game. Ruud van Nistelrooy is one of those strikers I really love in the Premier League. So let's see if that striking ability can translate into management.
Do you think that they should have given him probably more chance, at least at the end of the season, to prove his own abilities to coach a big team?
My personal opinion is no manager comes in mid-season and succeeds, especially in a high-pressure club like Manchester United. Manchester United right now is like a boiling room of opinions and press and media and conspiracy theories. You give the manager to the end of the season and then you bring Amorim in like a champion to take the team through pre-season, implement what he wants to do in pre-season, and then you see it translate on the pitch. But if he has to come in right now, they should take whatever they see.
What do you think?
Amorim should come in if possible this afternoon.
Why?
If possible.
You don't trust Van Nistelrooy?
It not be trust matter. I trust anybody. I even trust what's it called now? Rashford to coach the side.
No,
it's just what it is. I even trust Rashford to coach the side. I trust anybody to coach the side. But look, I'm just going to say this. What happened with Ole? He was given the job as an interim manager. They only on the wheel. We know what happened at the end. Now, Baba is finding it difficult to get a better job elsewhere.
Sadly, that's true.
I would not want the same thing to happen to Ruud. It's just my own opinion. Everybody can say he's a good manager. He's a good manager. He was a good manager at PSV.
But that only happened to Ole because Ole wasn't coaching a big team before he came to Manchester United.
Where is Pello now? He was a coach at Juventus. Where is Pello now? Where is Frank Lampard?
Same thing with Lampard.
Where is
Steven Gerrard? That he coached and won with Ajax, and then he came to.
I'm not talking about. We're talking about club league. We're talking about the club scene.
He's going to find a better club after Manchester
United. We are talking about. But the
problem Ole had is that he was at Molde,
and he was qualified for Europa.
Yes.
He was playing continentals with Molde.
Granted, but then he came into Manchester United, and the story hasn't been the same.
I'm only saying this about club legend effect. What happens after he leaves the club? Zizou, where is he right now? After he left Real Madrid, where is he? After he did the trip to Real Madrid and came back after 1 year when he left and came back, and what happened to him. He didn't get the results he wanted to get at Real Madrid, and he was let off the job. Then as Don Carlo came back, where has his record set him so far? Since then, he's been off a job.
He isn't looking for a job right now.
Even if he's looking for a job, he's not getting offers.
But if he comes into the market, these second clubs are lining up in their hundreds to come for a signature.
We are only hearing rumors of club coming for the market to get his signature, but yet, you get how you go good rich. They go price you off retirement. Pep went for retirement when he went on a sabbatical and they priced him off the sabbatical. Man City priced him off sabbatical at Bayern Munich.
It's not about pricing him off sabbatical. He has done everything he wanted to do at Spain.
Yeah.
He went on a 1 year sabbatical. Came back. He went on a 1 year sabbatical.
And in the sabbatical, he was given a job offer.
Bayern.
He was given a job offer.
He did what he did at Bayern. Went on his sabbatical. Came to Man City.
On his sabbatical, Man City cut him.
he wanted to go on the sabbatical. They had to pressure him to stay in and remain, and he's remained. Simple.
Wait, now under his sabbatical they cut him, make him come Man City. Abi, this man, he say he go resign, he go take 1 year off. Club.
Yes.
Wetin happen? No be he never take another job.
It's not a managing job at all.
See, he's taking another job.
That job is not a managing
either
job.
as a
You
manager
can't count it
or
as
either a manager as
no,
a wait,
you
John,
can't count
John,
that in
either as a manager
job.
or as a technical advisor to a club. It's still a job. No matter how, if you are good, they will price you off your holidays.
Okay, let's get a prediction for that game. Manchester United and Leicester City.
2-1.
2-1 for
Manchester United. I
John?
just have to settle with
Draw.
that. I'll just have to settle with that.
somebody has to win.
Oh, somebody has to win. So I just if
somebody has to win today.
either extra
penalties now. Let them go to penalties and win it now.
if you good, they go price you off your job.
Okay.
Wetin me I know.
Okay, the next game is Arsenal is going to play in Preston, but they are playing away from home. Arsenal is expected to win this game, but you know, these cup games, something might happen, but anything short of a win for Arsenal is going to be disastrous, John.
Yeah, same here. I share that sentiment. It's going to be a tough match. They should be winning, and I'm saying it now. Hopefully, they will not make the same blunders they've made in the EFL Cup or the Carabao Cup like they've done in previous years. There should be something totally different this time around, because
One area should be starting.
One area should be starting. All the top boys who are in the youth setup, under 23 setup, should get some showing, and then you have 2 or 3 solid heads that are going to be in the side that are going to ensure that you win the game. Otherwise, you are going to have players burning out at the peak of the season when you need them to be performing.
Okay, now so if you look at that game, Preston is not really a big side, but Arsenal, they have not won the Carabao
They're
Cup.
not really a big side.
They have not won the Carabao Cup or the Carling Cup for a very, very long time, even though that's part of one of the competition that even Arsene Wenger never took seriously. He always play these small boys there, and whatever result is, he takes it. But I think Arteta is trying to change that. If he
Play the boys and won it back to now. Pep is feeding star players in the Carabao Cup. Your club when he won it, the last season your club won it. Now first 11 he used play them. So everybody should learn. It's a tournament. It's a cup. There's a price for it. It's not something you say is free. It's a cup. Everybody needs to play it. But because of the fixtures and the fixture congestion and the time of the season, everybody wants to reserve their younger their star players and play and manage players' injuries. So I think for Arteta now, it's going to be a perfect. This should be where he starts giving players time.
like one area.
You get. I've campaigned for now. 1 area is enough. Let's campaign for other players in the side. Wiskede has been getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the side for like a couple of games now. He should be starting. You get. There are other players in the setup that should be starting this game
Like
and playing 60 minutes, at least 60 minutes before you make a sub.
Okay, let's join with Bowe. Bowe is our senior analyst. He's going to take talking about probably Serie A or the Carabao Cup today. Hello, Bowe.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Bishop. How are you, sir?
I'm good. All right, good morning. A lot of things going on everywhere, so try and see how we can cover them. Good one for Manchester United. I think they're getting a very solid coach who has proven himself in Portugal. Just like Mourinho was when he came, a young guy. For you to be willing to pay about 8 million pounds, almost 10 million euros, it means you are serious. And Van Nistelrooy just has one game to prove himself tonight, and I hope United don't lose that game. I think I might go with Noso. It might be a narrow win because the players now know a new coach is coming, and they want to make sure they impress. So they might give it their all, in today's game. So it's very likely that we might see a narrow win for United, but a win should be a win. They have to win that to welcome, the new
manager.
The new manager. So let's see what the future holds for Manchester United in the next 1 year. Talking about the seriousness of the Carabao Cup, I think that you are saying very correctly. Wenger and the rest of them are not taking it seriously until Mourinho starting senior men, and also Jurgen Klopp. They are coaches who understand that no matter what you do, a cup is a cup. This is the reason why, no matter how bad people paint Ten Hag, they'll tell you Ten Hag won 2 trophies. They don't care that it's Carabao Cup or anything. So, no, like it or leave it, Ten Hag, in terms of trophy, is more successful than Mikel Arteta.
True.
In terms of trophies, is more successful than Arteta. So I was telling somebody once, I said, if Arteta does not win the league this season, or the Champions League, or the FA Cup, or any other cup this season, like last season went 0, he should be sacked.
Oh,
You're
wow.
telling me yes, whether he has changed that now, because that's what we go play, and a slot will win a trophy. That's
Yes.
we're talking. I'm telling you, that's my philosophy.
Oh
A new
boy.
coach has come. He's not starting too much. He's doing well. Liverpool looks like they know what they are doing. You get the point. And before you know it, slot might win the league or win maybe
FA
Carabao
Cup.
Cup or win FA Cup. And I think I'll be saying that I'm telling you, that's my philosophy. So
Yes.
you need to understand that. So Arsenal needs to play a solid team. But like you are saying, because the injuries everywhere, Lewis Kelly might start. One area should start. Gabriel Jesus, Zichenko, and the rest. There's no way Arsenal cannot get a win over Preston if they are serious minded. This is a very good draw for them. Other teams are having a very solid draws. Liverpool is playing against Brighton. Brighton has strong side. Tottenham Hotspur playing against Man City, I think. So it's going to be a very solid evening of good football. So I think United will win. I think Liverpool should have the edge over Brighton. I would say the City should also edge theirs. Arsenal should. So we'll see how this whole evening is going to pan out. Then for me, I think I'm going to also give kudos to Napoli. Napoli, they are doing a good job. Now everybody can now rest with the fact that Conte knew what he wanted. He
Yes.
wanted Lukaku.
Mm-hmm.
Lukaku may not be scoring all the goals you think you want to score, but his link-up play is amazing and he's making the midfielders come into play. So
Yes.
that is how Conte wants to play. And Lukaku is firing on all cylinders, even if he's not scoring 10, 15 goals yet. Look at the games yesterday. Beautiful goals. Amazing games they play. Caras Vitalia, or whatever they call that boy. He's
Yes.
back. Banging again like when he was playing with Osimhen. And like you said now, the two Scottish players there are proving to be amazing footballers. McTominay, I felt he should have left Manchester United. Because at a point last season, he was almost second top goal scorer for Manchester United.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and they had to let him go. A forward scoring midfielder, you let him go. And he can still play defensive. So why not play him with Ugarte or pay him with Mino or pay him with whatever the guy that came from Real Madrid, Casemiro. So he has gone to Italy now and is doing very well. So kudos to that coach. I hope that Osimhen will let go finally now since he has gotten, what he wanted. So it's going to be an amazing night of deadly football today. We're going to be checking all the scores and all the results back to back. I feel that the best team should win, but I really think that we should see the best teams, in the next phase of the tournament. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your work.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Okay, Bowe is our senior analyst. He's calling in to give us his own view about this Carabao Cup. Okay, you can call and tell us your prediction for today's game in the Carabao Cup. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. And remember, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, guys, in the studio.
Good morning. Name
Good
and
morning.
location, please.
Yeah, my name is Shukri Kameni.
Okay, Chukwudi. What are your predictions for today's game?
Let me talk about Manchester United appointment, the Sporting Lisbon coach.
Okay.
Manchester United fans no happy much because when it come now, they go welcome am now for Premier League.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, okay. We lost that call. 0706 048 5853. Okay. On our YouTube channel, I'm going to read some of our content on our YouTube channel because we have an amazing content. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Bishop from Transfer.
Okay, Bishop, what are your predictions for today's game?
I want to agree with John and also agree with you. So
Okay.
I also agree with you. Yes, it's an experiment now.
Mm-hmm.
I won't support Rooney for that right to take up the job, but allow them to. But once you know, it's an experiment. Even if you are going to experiment, I think they should experiment with a proven. You get me?
Yes.
A proven in the sense that if you are going to blame or cause them or throw punches to them, you will say, okay, the one they are bringing now has coached the team properly and done that. You know how you are blaming them. But I'm also skeptical about the man coming. It's exciting bringing him in, doing well. We are looking at his stats, what he has done, his achievements so far. But so was Eric Ten Hag at Ajax. Exciting thing. Exciting to come in. We are saying that he's one to come in and take the team where he should go. He was very okay, happy, bringing him, doing well then with young players and even other ones, winning trophies, playing good football before he came in. Maybe among the 8 last coaches that wasn't doing well before they joined United. But we always keep on seeing what you are seeing. I'm not saying that the new one cannot come and change the narrative. Don't get me wrong. He can. I can be proven wrong, no doubt.
Yes.
You guys will remind me what I said when he started doing well. But just that, considering of what I have seen, that's why I've heard. It was not like the case was not like they are doing well and they were trusting. No, you can't bring someone who wasn't doing well to your business.
Yes.
You see what a business, somebody that business for you to bring the person in. Even in your studio, you look at, okay, this is what you are doing in the past. Come and work with us, pay this amount of money. That is my point. But
Okay, Bishop.
I see him also that I pray for him to succeed.
All right, Bishop.
You know, also surprised if I see him go down the line like other.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we have comments on our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube. Before we talk about the Chelsea game, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. And Emmanuel Okitibi is saying, Waneri, Jorginho, Jesus, Sterling should all be starting today. He's also saying Zinchenko, Luis Kelly, all should be starting. Enough. He said they are enough win to be winning Preston. Okay, Portia Odezulu. Okay, Portia Odezulu, welcome to the show. He said Bia. Okay, he's an Igbo guy. Odezulu said Bia Nonso. Don't ever underrate Zuzu. What he
as
did,
a player, no. I did not underrate him as a player.
What he did with Real Madrid is not something common. That he doesn't want a job now doesn't mean he can't get it when he wants.
Thank you.
Make we hear say like give him the job, he reject him.
He's also saying that if he easy, make pay run am. 3-peat Champions League is a joke to you. In just sign.
See, 3-peat is not a joke. I understand, but if you are that good, they will price you out of retirement. They will not hear.
has refused to be priced out of retirement.
There is no offer going his way.
Okay, let's not go into that.
Understand? There is no offer. There is no offer going his way.
Let's not go into that.
Are you his PA? Are you the one fielding his calls?
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
They go stay tired.
Like you there.
Good morning, guys.
Okay, you called back. Okay, continue.
Yeah, I was saying that
your line is not clear. I don't know why your line is not always clear, but do call us back later. Okay, let's move back to the Chelsea game because Chelsea is playing and Newcastle is playing today. So all of you make about Maresca. He has been talking to the press about the game today. Do you think that Maresca can cook today again? Because just this weekend, they cooked Newcastle 2-1. Now they are playing them again, but now they are going to St. James's Park to play.
The cook they cook last weekend no sweet oh. More just forget say it just dey. That food just dey. Not say it's sweet because you see Newcastle fighting for result.
I make you talk say no sweet.
Nothing. If I don't even fish up the food, even if I dey hungry die, I don't fish up that food because look at the performance. I'm not. See, people say the result is there to be taken. I'm looking at the performance against Newcastle. You see Newcastle performed. Just that Newcastle didn't. See, if Newcastle had buried their chances, they might have come up top in that game.
It's a big if because we go back to Manchester United's game. It's a big if. We go back.
No, Manchester United. Referee come bright.
We go back to their Clasico for Real Madrid. It's another big if. The if in this scenario shouldn't douse the sweetness of that victory over Newcastle, and then the fact that we are coming to St. James's Park today should give Newcastle more than enough reason to want to win the match.
Okay, what are your predictions for that game before we move on to the biggest game of today?
Newcastle is winning this one.
Chelsea winning it yet again.
Newcastle is winning this one.
Okay.
Back to back, home and away.
They are doing home and away against Newcastle. Okay, let's get your prediction. Just prediction for Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Just give your prediction.
Please, Villa.
Villa to win. Villa is playing at
Penalty
home.
shootout.
Penalty shootout. Me, I would love penalty shootout. Let me tell you the truth.
Penalty
If
shootout.
it's not your team, it's always sweet. It's always sweet. Okay, let's move on to the biggest game. Is Spurs versus is Manchester City. Spurs is going to be taking on Manchester City in their Carabao Cup. It's going to be an intense game. I very know that Pep is going to be fielding his big side. Before we go to that game, let's go to our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FS Sports. TF Swift is saying City and Liverpool are going to finish above Arsenal. Is that what he said? Yeah, he said City and Liverpool finish above Arsenal.
And Chelsea might too.
Oh, okay. He's also saying United should be going for Nagelsmann or Zidane, not another experiment from lower league. Oh wow. Jaja. Somto is saying, Somto, welcome to the show. He's saying, Man U getting Ruben Amorim is a good one. He is a young manager on an upward trajectory. I hope what pulled others down won't get him. Who get to him? Man U will surely win today, this night. Okay. He's also saying Nonso Zidane is waiting for French national team job. That's what he wants. You are a journalist. Please go and check how many times he has been linked with Manchester United.
He has been linked and there was no offer submitted.
And Akletus Obi is saying Newcastle will not be beaten twice. He's also saying, John, you are a Chelsea fan. Okay, let's go on to the big game. The big game is
Maresca is my coach's son,
yeah,
so why not?
So Spurs and Manchester City. What do you expect in that game? You are a City fan, John. What do you trashing? Haaland score a hat trick.
Nothing less.
That's what you always say this all the time. Nothing less. You always say
trashing, humiliation, disgrace.
They are playing away from home.
Annihilation.
Yes, total disaster
Annihilation.
of dismemberment of.
Then if the match don't end for 1-0 now with more poor possession tomato time.
Mother she wrote.
A win is a win. A win is a win. See, if you win a match and you don't perform to get the result, it's not a win.
You know, our guy said that he wins
trophy. Recorded here on it.
He wins trophy in the second season, so this is part of the cup he should be winning.
Yes.
And you now see Rico Lewis will be starting for
Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis.
And Tottenham will now start their full Bentancur and the rest, and Kulusevski, and get the win.
Okay, what I expect? What are your predictions for that game before we go?
A blowout, straight up.
Oh wow.
A blowout. Match them fire for fire, punch for punch, pound for pound, blow for blow, mind for mind, everything.
Tomorrow morning.
We go there here.
You can't hear Mother she wrote, a win is a win. We'll go there here. All of us, we'll go there here tomorrow morning. But look at it. I'm looking at the lineup that they will play. Pep might be tempted to play a different side, or not the regular 11, and maybe just make a tweak in the starting lineup. And this man will go on to play his first team.
Pep always win.
And Pep would try to win, but this man would win it.
Okay, what are your own prediction for that?
I'm looking at the 1-0 win, narrow win for Ange. Ange, make him win the trophy when he won win for second season.
Okay, remember guys, we are live every day on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. Every day, Monday to Saturday, we are live at Vote FM Sports. Yeah, we are here always in the studio. At 8 a.m. we are here to talk football, and we have two more comments on our YouTube channel, and I will go call it a day. Emmanuel is saying Zidane won't come to United for any reason. Okay, Johnson is saying no. So what are you even saying? Please name any top coach that send their CV to clubs. Is the team that make the offer and the manager that decide to accept the offer or not. Okay, this is how we are going to be ending today's show. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, the calls, thank you for everything. Thank you. So we'll be coming here tomorrow to analyze the games happening today, especially in the Carabao Cup. We have fantastic game. Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, all are playing in the Carabao Cup. Let's hope we'll get a whole lot of goals. Tomorrow we'll be here again, 8 a.m. to analyze all these games. See you guys tomorrow. My name is Godwin, signing out.
Welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets